Merseyside Police are taking the lead on reducing dog bites across Merseyside, so I'm meeting the experts with top tips that we can all follow to keep everyone safe. Today, it's Mark Evans, a postie for Royal Mail.
We're experiencing 37 dog bites a week nationally within Royal Mail, which is far too high.
Our data shows that there's an increase on dog bites on Royal Mail staff in the holidays.
Definitely, we struggle with children opening doors and letting the dog out. So we would really ask parents to not let the children answer doors.
Have you got any other key tips that parents could give to their kids if the children do need to open the door?
Yeah, please, if you could just pop the dog into another room and perhaps put some kind of guard or an external letterbox. That keeps our fingers safe.
So Mark, what kind of impacts do these dog bites have on the Royal Mail staff?
Well, a very serious one. Some staff can't return to work, some people can't return to deliveries and they've got to be re-rolled, and it's a job they love outside, serving the public. It's everything from a nip to traumatic life-changing injuries. Finger amputations are very common and they have a massive effect on people. One lady suffered facial injuries when a dog jumped up to grab her.
It's quite a big impact on your staff, isn't it?
It's massive. As I say, some people don't return to work.
Massive scarring and real life-changing injuries you're talking about there.
Very much so.
So recently we've had quite a nasty dog attack in Merseyside on one of the Royal Mail employees. Do you want to tell me a little bit about what happened there?
Yes, a dog on a lead jumped up, bit a postman, horrific injuries from that bite, and that postman now is suffering mentally. He's having broken sleep, nightmares. Something that's really upsetting him is that he can't play with his own dog. He's now frightened of his own dog, and that's a real tragedy, and the dog doesn't understand it.
Yeah, so often postal workers will be walking around in the streets and people will be out with dogs on lead. So what sort of advice would you be giving to dog owners to keep the Royal Mail staff safe?
If you could keep the dog on a short lead when you see postal staff, because they are aware of the uniform.
Yeah.
And really, if you could maybe cross the road, or we'll stop and we'll give your dog a little bit of distance. And the other thing we ask is, we are not allowed to play with dogs, stroke them or give them treats. So please don't kind of ask us to.
We've worked with Royal Mail for a while now, helping you to provide safer systems for your staff when they're in work. Do you want to tell me about some of the projects you've got ongoing?
Certainly, yeah. I say one of the principles is that we avoid all contact with dogs. We will suspend mail to both an address and an entire street if we have to. It's a last resort, but if that keeps us safe, that's what we'll do. We have these little plastic strips called posting pegs. These are to get mail through a letterbox if we know there's a dog on the other side. And as you can see, there's quite a big chunk out of my strip. That was taken off by a Labrador, meaning I've still got 10 fingers and I only lost a piece of plastic. And I think I've had 4 of these snatched out of my hands now. So that's 4 fingers I've still got.
That's a lot, isn't it? And it just shows the impact really of people not putting the safe measures in.
Very much.
Yeah. So you've covered what Royal Mail do. What can homeowners who have got dogs do to protect the Royal Mail staff?
Quite a lot, and it's all low cost. First of all, if you're going to answer the door to us, if you've got a packet or a parcel, please, if you could just pop the dog into another room, shut the door, and then everybody's safe. And especially if you've got young children in the house, please don't let them answer the door. The other thing, if your dog is snatching the mail, to protect itself as well as us, if you could put a cage on the back of the door so the dog can't get to the mail. That means if there's anything in that mail, the dog can't be injured by it. And ideally, we'd love to see an external post box, so we're not actually approaching your front door.
Yeah, you talked earlier on about how the dogs can sometimes get injured by stuff that's coming through the letterbox. What sort of things are you seeing when dogs are harmed by post?
Well, we don't know what's in the mail, but obviously there's promotions. Detergent might be in those. Printer inks or something we deliver. Now normally they wouldn't just go into a letterbox, but they might. And if a dog got to printer ink, it'd be a horrible mess in your house, as well as the injury to your dog. So the dogs can get hurt by this as well, so we're protecting everybody.
Yeah, it's about keeping dogs and posties safe, isn't it?
Very much so. We don't want to see any animals injured. Nearly every postie's got a pet of some type. No matter how lovable and nice a dog is, they are territorial animals. If you can just keep them under control, we're coming onto your territory, we appreciate that. If you can just control that lovable dog, it won't be a threat to us.
So sometimes you're seeing dogs that are really happy family pets turning on posties and it's completely unexpected.
Very much so. But again, we don't know what the short-term history of that dog is. Something might have scared it, spooked it, might have been scared by a car. Another dog's done something to it. We don't know.
So some great advice there from Mark from Royal Mail about how to reduce dog bites around posties. If you'd like to help us taking the lead to reduce dog bites in Merseyside, please go to the Merseyside Police website for more information. Thank you.